Welcome back. This is the Lightforge Arena tier list valuation podcast stream YouTube video. Thanks for watching, listening. This is Adwukta.
This is Merps.
And we're doing
I
Mage.
need a haircut, man.
You
I'm just
do
like
need
looking
a
at myself.
haircut.
I really need a haircut. This is bad. Anyways, please go on. Please go
Yeah,
on. We're talking about Mage.
we're talking about Mage. So we talked about Druid, we talked about Hunter. Now we're going to talk about Mage. Mage is the good part about Mage, regardless of what happens here, is they're getting back all their freaking big cards, right? Like Fireballs, probably more Flame Strikes, all of them coming back in this rotation from their classic sets. You won't have to live without them too long. But unlike something like Hunter or Druid, where all of their new cards beat all of their old cards, Mage doesn't have the world beaters in this set. Flame Strike is rated at 200. It is better than everything that is going to exist in this set. So the first card we're going to talk about is the best Mage card. It's a 180. That makes it a little worse than Faceless Corruptor, but better than Twin Tyrant. Definitely worse than Flame Strike, but better than a Fireball, better than a Blast Wave. That's the area we're in. It's a Rolling Fireball. Epic card. Not going to see it a lot. 5 mana. Deal 8 damage to a minion. Just like a Flame Lance. Only any excess damage continues to the left or the right. So, overkill. Keep dealing the rest of your damage in one direction or the other. Mechanically, what this means is if you have 2 minions, it's going to deal the rest of the other minion. If you have 3 minions, like if your opponent has 3 minions, and you target one in any direction, like on the edge, the far left one or the far right one, it's going to go in that one way. It's never going to like if you target the far right one, it's not going to pick right and then you lose all your damage. It's definitely going to go left. But if you pick the middle one, it's going to randomly roll left or right, and then it's going to stop. It's not going to roll back, even if you have excess damage. So that's what Rolling Fireballs does. Obviously, it's insanely good. Ignore the fact that Flame Lance is insanely good. Now you can use it on a board of like 4/2/2s and kill them all. Like, just super flexible. We still rate it below a Flame Strike because the times in which it matters of like how the distribution is actually probably going to be more than you think. Like between positioning and between when the damage just isn't enough to kill off a wider kind of board. Flame Strike is 4 damage. Remember, it only takes 2 hits of a Flame Strike to deal all the damage of a Rolling Fireball. So it's still a lot more damage, even though it is 2 more mana and less flexible.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's. I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Next up, we have the Explorer set, the Explorer card for Mage. Remember, Druid had that big giant Taunt Explorer. Hunter had the Emperor Cobra Explorer. Now we get Azure Explorer. We're getting to more interesting Explorers. This is a 4 mana 2/3 spell damage plus 2 dragon. Spell damage plus 2.
That's a lot. Yeah.
You gotta use it. You gotta pair it with something, but that's a lot of spell damage, especially for board clears. Battlecry Discover a Dragon. So basically, this is a normal. You could look at it as a normal Discover a Dragon kind of like card, and then with a spell damage plus 2 attached onto it for free.
Yeah. You guys remember Evolved Kobold?
How much mana was that? It was like a 2/2
That was
with
4 mana
2.
for a 2/2, no tag, spell damage plus 2. With, not Discover a Dragon.
Yep.
So you're missing a stat, you're missing the dragon tag, and you're missing the small benefit of discovering the dragon.
Tiny benefit. Not worth like small. 80 points or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously not a curve card. 0 curve. It's 4 mana 2/3. The plus 2 spell damage doesn't make up for it. But it synergizes super well. Super well. Flame Strike, Blizzard, Cone of Cold. There's not... You don't get a lot of the more ridiculous ones. Like, the Arcane Explosion is still in the game. And... I don't know. I think we were one of the first people way back in the day to rate Arcane Explosion like as an actual good card rather than either a meh card or a crap card like other people. But right now, Arcane Explosion is a 133 on our tier list. That's like Flame Waker, Banshee levels of good. And part of it is because of this card. It's normally not that high. But you're going to take all the Azure Explorers anyway because just a good card advantage card, and then you're going to incidentally get the spell damage +2.
Yes. Don't sort of poo-poo on 2 spell damage. That's a lot. That's like a lot. And you guys know how much we sort of penalize stuff that takes you off tempo. And this definitely takes you off tempo. But man, the spell damage is good.
Yep. Okay. So that was 173, by the way. It's basically Twin Tyrant levels. Next, we're going to have 169. So again, similar around a Twin Tyrant. Like, these are all just insanely good cards. They may not be as good as Flame Strike, but they're like Fireball level. So this is Arcane Breath. 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion. If you're holding a dragon, discover a spell. So it's like a Holy Smite, except you discover a spell if you're holding a dragon. Like, just these ridiculous cards. I don't know what else to say about them. Hold dragons, guys.
Okay. Go on.
Like, there's not even... Like, when you get to these cards, you can't even give analysis. Like, you know that's not...
No, they're simple cards. They're just powerful, simple cards. But they're very simple, but very powerful.
Alright, here's another super simple card for Mage. Violet Spellwing, 1 mana, 1/1 elemental. Death Rattle. Add an arcane missile spell to your hand. So, you know all those 1/1s that like add a random beast to your hand, add a random spell to your hand, whatever. This one adds a particular spell to your hand that is not that good, but also not that bad. But there's no RNG involved.
Yeah. So this is a card in which I think a lot of constructed players have looked at it and they're like, whoa, wait, this card is insane.
Yeah.
And for constructed, it is really, really insane. For arena, I think we know that Arcane Missiles is not that great. But this is good. Also, why is it an elemental? I don't get it. But,
well, I mean, it's
sure,
like
an
Pyros, right? It's like an elemental bird thing.
I guess so. So yeah, it's pretty freaking good. It's just small. That's it. It's small, and the card that it gets you is pretty small.
Yeah, also, I know I said no RNG, but yes, the Arcane Missiles itself has a lot of RNG.
Yes.
I'm sorry I said no RNG. There is definitely RNG. Guaranteed RNG.
Yeah.
Okay. But 112 is like Yeti. Like, it's totally pick it, play it, you know, just don't value it the way you'd value like a babbling book or whatever. Okay. So moving on from that, like, you can see this, right? Like, we talked about some good cards from Mage, but now we're like already running out of steam. I don't know what the other cards for this class are, but they're not good. Oh, here we go. We're at 68 now. So this is like Light Warden, Murloc Tidecaller, Master Jouster levels of
Wait,
bad.
we're at 68?
Yeah, oh, did I miss something?
Yeah, you missed quite a few cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's next?
Okay.
Oh, Mana Giant. Is that what's next?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Mana Giant's an epic card. 8 mana, 8/8. And it's an elemental, and it costs 1 less for each card you played this game that didn't start in your deck. So, what are the card generators in Mage? So, one, there's a whole bunch of neutral card generators. That's always going to be an option. And in Mage, you have Babbling Book at 140, right? You had Violet Spellwing that we were talking about before. You have the Azure Explorer that we also mentioned before, and you have Blast Wave. So there's a number of card generators that are available in Mage. Not a ton, but enough to make it a thing. Like, it's going to be significantly better than just 8 mana 8/8. This is not a impossible to trigger condition.
All right. Seems good. All right. I think.
Are we a Dragoncaster now? I think we are. Dragoncaster now.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a 98, which is like a normal-ish. Sorry, a 99 normal-ish kind of card. Gnomish Inventor is here. Your Moat Lurkers, your Reckless Rocketeers, Frostwolf Warlords. That's what they are. But now we're going down to 68. Okay, Master Jouster, Light Warden, Murloc Tidecaller. Not good cards.
Completely crap.
Yeah, don't pick these cards. And this one is going to be tempting. It is a Dragoncaster. 6 mana 4/4. Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, Your next spell this turn costs 0. So let me break this down for you of why it's not good. Because it seems like it's going to be good. Because you're like 6 mana, 4/4. That means if I get 3 mana's worth, I kind of get my money back, and everything else is a bonus. What kind of bonus do I want? Maybe 2 mana is good, so like 5
Does it
mana.
seem good? I don't know. I thought immediately, I'm like, wow, this. I don't think anyone would. And as I see this,
someone in chat is like, wait, why is it so low? Okay, so yeah, so you're thinking something like 5 mana would make this like an okay card. All right, fine. So you need a 5 mana spell, of which there are only a few in Mage. You need to hold that spell, hold the Dragon Caster, and hold a dragon. That means in your hand, I don't know how many cards you have in this hand, because Mage doesn't have that many card draw cards anymore. You need to hold 3 cards, 3 very specific types of cards. Remember, you only have 3 dragons in your entire deck. You probably only have 1 Dragon Caster, and you probably only have, what, like 2, at most 3 5 mana or more spells? When all these stars align, you get like some value, and this card should be worth like a 100, maybe a 110.
Yeah, it's a 3-card combo, and it's not just having the 3 cards. One of the cards has to be a proper size. Like, it has to be big. The spell has to be big for this to actually be relevant or valuable. So, it's not good. All right.
And you have to keep holding it until you want to use the spell. Like, if you're holding a Flame Strike, you're like, oh, 7 mana, great. Well, you gotta wait until they have a board that's 7 mana. That's Flame Strikeable. Alright, next is Learn Draconic. It's a 1 mana side quest. Spend 8 mana on spells. That's harder than you may think. Reward, summon a 6/6 dragon. That's not that great when it's delayed so much.
8 mana on spells is not easy. Like, that is not easy. You're not gonna have that many spells in your deck, and 8 mana is, on average, that's like more than 2 spells. Yeah. So I don't know what you guys think is gonna happen, but you can't, like, you just can't draft that many spells as well. So that's the thing. Well, after you play this, a 1 mana 6/6 is great, but a 1 mana 6/6 in which that 6/6 is frozen, possibly infinitely, slash
for a long time.
8 turns?
Yeah. No, it's not gonna be 8 turns. But like, it's one of those things where you basically want to play a side quest whenever you get the extra mana, right? But then after you play it, for a card like this is, you just gotta wait. And you gotta wait potentially quite a while. You're not actually going to like hold it, wait for it to play on the Flame Strike on the same turn. You're gonna just play this whenever. But yeah, it's, these side quests are not the best. No. Okay, and it's a 68. It's the same as a Dragon Caster. Just like, don't pick these.
Yep.
Along with the Dragon Caster, you could possibly have a deck that just has what it takes to make these cards good. Like, these are high swing cards. This is not like a never pick. This is a 1 in 10 decks you'll actually want to pick it.
Okay. Next. This is
the other side quest. So all these the non-Galakron classes, so Druid, Hunter, Mage, and Paladin, they each have 2 side quests. This is kind of a waste of space in the arena, but at least they're in the arena. Galakron's cards are not even in the arena. So this is Elemental Allies, 1 mana side quest. Play an Elemental 2 turns in a row. You're not going to do that.
It's very specific. Yeah, you can't just play elementals. You can't like play an elemental and be like, okay, I have another one in the deck. I will draw that one. It's so specific. And you don't have that many elementals. You won't get that many elementals. And the fact that you have to play 2 turns in a row, which means you have to have them both in hand, and you lock yourself into doing something 2 turns in a row. And then the reward is to draw 3 spells from your deck, and at that point, you still have to have 3 spells in your deck. Holy cow, man. This is a 3. It's not a 0, it's a 3.
The algorithm saw some potential that this would actually happen.
Yeah.
But it is very small chance.
So, we don't have lots of elementals. Ungoro is not in here. You don't have the Tar Creepers. You don't have, like, that stuff. So, elementals just...
They're, like, incidental. Like, you randomly end up with like 1.5 elementals in your deck, and you have to play 2 in a row.
turns in a row is extraordinarily limiting.
Yep.
If you can just play them anytime, and then once you play the second one, you get it, that'll be so much better. But right now, oh man, that is rough. Okay.
All right. So now we're on to legendaries. Mage has a very good legendary.
Very good
Very good
legendary.
legendary. Do you have the list? Because I don't have the list of all these upgraded mage spells. Can you pull that up?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you do that. I'll talk about this first.
Yep.
So, Malygos, Aspect of Magic, is a 5 mana 2/8 dragon. So, not very good stats.
Nope.
Battle Cry. If you're holding a dragon, discover an upgraded mage spell. So, again, you need a dragon trigger, but on the plus side, you're never tempted to play this card without first obtaining another dragon in your hand. You literally just sit there and wait for it. There's not a lot of decisions to be made. The tempo is almost never worth it. So you have to wait for your conditional, which is you have to have this card in your hand and another dragon in your hand. You saw how much we penalize conditionals. Like, we like to be able to play cards in our hand because we're good players, and good players need to have options to be able to actually make decisions. No options, no decisions, doesn't matter how good you are, you make the same play. Despite all that, this is a 195.
Yep.
One of the best cards in the game. Why? Because here's what the upgraded mage spells are.
All right, so you get to discover, which means you get 3 choices out of a total of 9 cards. And here are the options. It's always going to be Malygos's X, and the X is going to be the spell. But I'll tell you what these actually do. You either get a 0 mana Frostbolt, an Arcane Missile that does 6 damage instead of 3, a 1 mana Frost Nova, a 1 mana Polymorph, a tome in which it is 1 mana to add 3 random mage spells to your hand, a 2 damage Arcane Explosion, so 2 mana for 2 damage to all enemy minions, an Arcane Intellect that draws you 4 cards instead of 2, a Fireball that deals 8 damage instead of 6, or this is the hilarious one, a Flame Strike that still costs 7 mana but deals 8 damage instead of 4. That's the one that you're looking for, probably. So these are the spells. Really, really good. The worst ones are probably the 1 mana Frost Nova. Just not that big of an effect. Also the
1 mana cards are just kind of weak because you're holding this and you're holding a dragon. You need something with impact.
Yeah, so this is like, it's just one of those things where you're going to get some good cards because good ones include the Flame Strike, the Arcane Intellect. The Fireball is pretty decent. If you get a 1 mana Polymorph, that's still pretty good. Sometimes you just need a Polymorph. The Tome is pretty decent because, you have some good spells. Basically, you're going to discover something good. You're going to discover something good, and the tempo that you kind of lose out on by playing a 5 mana 2/8, and you're not losing that much.
You're losing a bit.
Yeah, but whatever you lose, you gain back with one of these spells.
Yeah,
so
like way more.
Really
with
good.
One of these spells.
Yep.
So yeah, and the key is discover. If it was just add a random one of these to your hand, it's not going to be that good. The discover, I mean, it's going to be good, but it's not going to be like super premium. The discover part really lets you customize this to your situation, whatever it may be.
Because a lot of these are removal, and 2 of them are major card draw. So you have a decent chance to get card draw if you need card draw. But if you don't need it, then you have a good chance of like getting a removal of some sort as well. So the discover really helps this out because whenever you do this, you probably have an idea of exactly what you want, removal or card draw. And it gives you really, really good options for both.
All right. Let's now do the next one. The last card for Mage, Legendary, Chen. 3 mana legendary, low mana legendary is always interesting. It's a 2/5, so it's on curve. Elemental. After you cast 3 spells in a turn, summon a 5/5 elemental. So it has no ability in the arena. for the most part, and it's just a 3 mana 2/5, which is great. That's fine. It's on curve. It's 101. It's not as good as a Yeti, but it's totally, you're okay with it in your deck. You're not happy. Yeah, it's a pretty underwhelming legendary for Arena.
It's fine. Like,
I mean,
think
it's as good as a
especially,
Ysera, and people love Ysera, so.
which is just wrong. I think some people might riot over that because we keep on bringing it up. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Ysera's
Ysera's
like
only a 100. Ysera's an average card.
yeah, and not even an average card that you will have in your deck. It's just an average card that you're offered,
Yeah.
which I think some people will go absolutely crazy over. But
I
I think
can't
that
tell you
is,
the number of times I played a Ysera, and then I whiffed on the RNG, and then I just died.
or you just can't play Ysera.
Right.
I don't
Or Ysera
know.
doesn't
Anyway,
matter by the time you play it. Yep.
that is Mage. Eh, that's sort
Right?
of the
It's
summary.
very
It's like it's very
Like, it's
yeah.
fine. The fact that they're getting, oh, really, for Mage, the fact that they're getting all of their really good stuff back from Classic matters way more than these new cards.
Yeah.
Although this is going to be confusing now.
What?
Dragon's Breath. Because it's not a breath card, and it has nothing to do with dragons.
Oh my god, you're so right.
How confusing is that? So there's a series, we haven't gotten to them yet, but a bunch of classes have cards with breath. Oh, I guess Hunters had one. Oh, Druids had one too. They were just really bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have breath cards and you have dragon cards, but this is neither.
Yep. It's Dragon's Breath. If you don't remember what Dragon's Breath is, it's a 5 mana card that says deal 4 damage, costs 1 less for each minion that died this turn. It was a Blackrock Mountain card. And it just looks so outdated now.
It's crazy. Yeah, you would think. I mean, that is the most Descent of Dragons name there is, but it has nothing to do with. Anyways, that's funny.
Dragon's
That's it for
Breath
Mage.
Explorer. Yeah. So you have good cards. Rolling Fireball's great. Azure Explorer is great. Arcane Breath is great. You're gonna want to do some dragon stuff, but not too much dragon stuff because your only real synergy there is Arcane Breath. And you don't really need to do dragon stuff if you don't want to. Your other cards are pretty
Cool.
good. So we have Druid so far, which is good. Like, okay, I guess. Hunter, which is like better than Druid. And then you have Mage, which is like
Meh.
somewhere between Hunter and Druid. But also, Mage is very, like, you look at all these cards, it's very reactive. And I think you're going to see the reactive Mage come back more than the pushing Mage. But you don't have a lot of card draw in Mage anymore either. So I don't know. Like, the more I look at Mage, the more I think it could just all fall apart. But it's very normal. It's very
I can
normal.
see it. Okay, that's it. That is Mage. All right. Give shout out who you want to shout out.
Okay. Let's give a shout out to Brand New, who did the art for the Lifeforce tier list. I'm gonna go back to the old way we're showing the Lifeforce tier list to show some of the art. So that's the little dragon you're gonna see once this goes live, the little dragon skull and the underline. So she does these. She's been doing these for us for like over a year now. And I never remember to give her a shout out because I'm like a terrible boyfriend. But there we go. And also to David Ambrose Says, who's getting these up on YouTube. Cool.
All right, that's it from Mage. Paladin is next. See you guys.
See ya.